Hello, welcome back. Brian Glick recently filmed his BJJ Fanatics instructional and was nice enough to stop by our gym to show us some small person jiu-jitsu. And the beauty of small person jiu-jitsu is it is super efficient and requires less effort. So that is exactly how small people can attack big people on the mat, because they know these tiny little tricks and techniques and tips. And also, if you're a bigger person, if you want longevity in the sport, knowing this trickery and how to move your body in order to get maximum efficiency is key. Now here's some game-changing tips, okay? When you have somebody in your closed guard, when you see this pull of the arm, you might think it's all upper body, but what I am doing is I am using my legs to bring her torso to me. So first, I get my hips off the mat by straightening. And here, we're going over the angle. So get your knees in order to get their arm at a 90-degree angle when you place it on the mat. And then from there, you grab the far side lat and you use this side scissor guard, the scissor guard that he's talking about, to basically that top leg. I am putting all of my weight hanging off of that top leg, off of her torso, which is a very heavy type feeling. And when you're small, like today, I had, you know, like a 4-stripe sandbagging purple belt. Todd. Tell me that I felt really heavy. And the secret is making them carry all of your weight, and that is literally exhausting. So here's another little small tip. So she gets a 2-on-1 and brings it over. Now look at this angle that she brought it over. What do you think of that angle? Look, do you see that adjustment? So the pull is at the 90-degree, but then you want to place the arm, the pull is at a 45-degree, but then you want to place it 90 degrees to your torso. That way you're rotating their back to you. The more rotation you have by putting their hand at this 90-degree means that their back is more visible to you. And the principle goes, if you can see the back, you can take the back. So why not make the back more visible? This is such a great back take from guard. Now, here's another detail that I learned from Brian that is game changing. Whenever you take the back, the #1 defense of taking the back is when they stand up and they basically do what looks like a twerking move to shake you off their back. You use this asymmetrical hold. So what I'm doing is my right leg is hooking and my left leg is basically doing a curl. So I'm holding from the hamstring. This asymmetrical hold does two things. It prevents me from slipping off of the back. It prevents me from slipping around and going from back controls to end up being on the bottom with them inside my closed guard, which frequently happens. And a bonus thing is that asymmetrical hold also puts you off center to then put more weight on the one side that you are trying to get them to then take this back control to a supine position. And in addition to that, the connection, if you're doing MMA, you can just start punching them in the head, not the back of the head. So do you see this rotation? And do you see how my feet, whenever I do this move, I'm focusing on my feet not touching the ground, because any type of connection with the ground means the weight is going into the ground instead of onto their back. And you definitely want to have all of the weight onto their back. Now here we go. Here's the next phase. So when you're trying to do this move, an extremely common reaction is for them to get a tight waist. Even when they're trying to pass, there's a whole series of tight waist passing. So even if you try to do the 2-on-1 and pull their arm to take their back, and that is their reaction, it's a very common reaction, or if they're just going right in for some tight waist passing and they have their arm around your waist like this, going to this clamp guard is money, okay? Clamp guard to triangle is money. And this transition is what is going to get you more triangle finishes. This transition right here, look at his foot and look how he gets his hips off the ground. From clamp guard, when they posture up, put your foot on their shoulder, and this allows you to follow them up high and keep your hips up high. That way you still have a connection with their upper torso. This connection is what allows you to get more finishes. Typically when they posture up, you feel like, you know, the triangle is loose and all of the weight is basically on that top lock on the triangle, and it's hard to finish from there because it feels like you need to get them closer. When you use this transition and put your foot on their shoulder while back heeling, you raise your hips high. That way you have better control over their torso. That is a game changer. From here is a tip, another solid gold. Brian Glick, I learned so many nuggets from him in this short period of time. Definitely go check him out on BJJ Fanatics, because small person jiu-jitsu is just like, it's gold. So here's what he's showing us. Here's how to get your triangle choke tighter. And I'm saying, like, you're gonna see coming up, this little detail, you're gonna choke people out in like 10 seconds, okay? It comes on fast. So what he's doing right now is he is angling his left knee inward by windshield washering his legs outward. And now I can spot a tight triangle and a not tight triangle just by looking at the angle of their knee. If the angle of the knee is 90 degrees forward, that's not tight. If the angle of the knee is 45 degrees inward, that's a tight triangle. So here, your bottom leg, you always want to be blocking the hip. And see, look at this. Do you see the angle of my knee? How it's not straight forward facing us? It's over her shoulder, and I'm scissoring my legs to the left. Ooh, that is a tight triangle. You want your leg over their shoulder. He's like, let her go so she can live. Like, this comes on fast. So look at that angling. That angling is what is going to get you a super tight triangle. So from here, we go to a clamp guard. Control the wrist, get your foot on their shoulder, and get that angle. You want your top knee to be facing inward, and there I just locked it up on the opposite side to show that you can lock it on either side and go for arm attacks even if it's not locked on the traditional side. And here you can even go for a reverse arm bar.
Your love is crazy. I feel it. I feel it fade. No, that was wrong. I feel it fade. But I ain't like no better. I feel it fade.
So as you can see, we started drilling with resistance, and that tiny change, like I almost choked him out within, what, 5 seconds? Like that. Thank you, Brian. So I'm getting my leg over the shoulder and scissoring the heels out, and that angle change is what makes it tight. And you can also help aid with this angle change by either underhooking their leg or underhooking their arm.
I just fade away. I feel it.
So here I'm going for the back take. So if they don't move their arm to get that tight waist, you can go for this back take. So the back take, Brian is calling this a scissor guard. So it's basically using your legs and holding the guard through that side angle right here. This is the scissor guard, in order to help transition you to either the back take or if they do a tight waist. And again, when you change the lock from the right to the left side, like, you can even do a triangle sweep. So of course it all depends on what your opponent is doing. Reading what your opponent is doing is the name of the game in order to select the correct technique. So here, the asymmetrical hold with the feet, the asymmetrical hooks, that works best if they are trying to get you off of their back. And here, Brian and I are doing some basically flow rolling. Semi-aggressive flow-ish rolling. And after this we go, so here I'm going for, you know, like a back take and then trap the arms to a one-armed rear naked choke. So if you found any of this helpful, here, see, he gets the 2-on-1, uses his legs, the push-pull of the legs to get the arm across. So the secret to getting the arm across to expose the back is not the pulling of the arm, it's the moving of the legs, which is mind blown. So do you see how we locked the triangle on the other side? You can lock the triangle up on either side and attack the arm, which is really cool. I think I accidentally punched him there. So for you people in MMA, if you want to get the head to the other side, so this is the clamp guard. I should have put my foot on his shoulder. That would have made it better because I would have had my hips higher. And yeah, so you can underhook the arm or the leg. If you haven't subscribed yet, definitely subscribe, because my next video, I'm going to be doing a narrated roll of Brian and I, and it was a good time. All right, so thank you so much for watching. Definitely check out Brian Glick's Jiu-jitsu instructionals on BJJ Fanatics. If you don't know how to spell his name, I have it in the, I'll have it in the description. All right, until next time, bye.
Of creation, we the generation, tell me why, try to